Hi, Writing 111. This is week 15. Congratulations, you have made it to the end of the semester. This week you are writing essay 5. And I want to just make this really simple video, making a few comments about essay 5 and some tips about what you should try to think about doing for this essay. So if you've read the essay instructions, you probably have already. You'll see that it's basically a 4-page reflection on 2 to 3 excerpts of your own writing from the semester, which shows something about you as a thinker, reader, writer, or human being, tracking your growth and change over the semester. And there's more details in the official assignment instructions that you should read and pay attention to. But I want to make a few additional comments that might help guide your writing. So in this essay, you are rereading or as you prepare for this essay, I should say, this week for your SWA, I'm having you reread your past SWAs. But you can also analyze your 4 previous essays. That's also very legitimate, allowed for this essay 5. And actually, your work on your essays is probably your most engaged and intensive work for the class. So it makes sense that you would immediately think of an essay as being important in the story you want to tell for this final essay. You certainly can use that as well. You can focus this essay on any relevant aspect of yourself. I think the main ones that you would choose between is thinking of yourself as a writer who's developing, a learner or an intellectual person, someone who's thinking about the world, and maybe this course or some things you wrote in this course have helped to change or grow your thinking as a person. Or a third category might be thinking of your growth as a spiritual person, a person of faith. I would actually recommend that you decide or kind of select one of these as your main focus, the one that you want to tell a story about in your essay. You're not forbidden from bringing in those other 2 aspects, but if you think about developing one specifically and particularly, you're more likely to actually tell an interesting story about that aspect of yourself. So that's another tip. Select one of those 3 main concepts: yourself as a writer, yourself as a learner or intellectual, yourself as a spiritual person. Another tip is think of this essay as structured around the old to new information arc. Start with the old version of yourself and end with the new version of yourself. And in the middle, you're taking us through the steps that you went through that were the growth steps. Okay, one more thing. You might be wondering, is this essay more like an essay, an argument or something like that, or is it more of a story? So ideally, it's actually a hybrid of both of those genres. You should be using your own writing as evidence and support for the story you're telling about yourself. So you can talk about your own thoughts and feelings and memories you had as you went through the experiences that you're describing, but you don't want to flood your essay with just thoughts and feelings, but also you want to be able to point directly to things you wrote, quotes from your own writing, phrases in your own writing, and actually you should be stopping and close reading briefly, or maybe slightly more elaborately, a few key moments that you've excerpted from your own writing that really show where this growth is happening. Think of this possible analogy. An opera or a musical it rotates between stories, the story parts that move the story along or the plot, and then operatic arias, which are the songs or musical numbers, where there's a sort of stop in the story and you like expand lyrically and sing emotionally about some important moment in the story for a few minutes during that song. Think about your essay like the same structure. You're going to connect these dots by telling a story, but then you're going to hover on those important moments, those songs, or I should say, like the songs, you're going to have these written excerpts that you have, and you're going to analyze those for a bit and show us, by diving deeply for a moment into those pieces, show us what was really happening, right? So hopefully those are a couple of thoughts to give you a push on this essay, to give you a better idea of what a really ideal version of this essay would look like. And lastly, have fun. This should be a fun essay. It should feel good to write about yourself in some way. And so pick something that makes you feel positive about yourself and that allows you to use the writing that you've selected in an interesting way. All right. Have a great week. Have a good time writing. I really look forward to your final essays.